got everything I want, and the only negative is she got a kid. You telling me you not jacking it?
There's so many people on this earth, you don't have to settle for anything you don't want.
He texted you and said he needed space, playing these mind games. He expected you to chase him.
Like they dodged a bullet. You're so masculine.
Ducker, dinner, schnucker. This is what guys want to find.
I was over there just a minute ago trying to talk to this chick because I killed her with my logic.
Another brother goes out to Japan. He says, my baby, my value. Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
I also respect when a man says they don't want to date me because I have kids. I respect it 100%. I don't even sit there and argue and be like, oh, I don't care. I respect it. Everybody has what they want to deal with and what they don't.
I just feel like people need to pick out the positives in people. Everything's a pros and cons chart. I say it all the time, man. If the pros outweigh the cons, just mess with them. But most people be like she said, they'll be perfect. Everything you ask for in a person, right? Say for men, right? Yo, this woman got everything I want, and the only negative is she got a kid. You telling me you not jacking it?
There's so many people on this earth, you don't have to settle for anything you don't want.
We agree.
But that sounds crazy. What does it sound
I don't have
crazy?
a scarcity mindset.
Let me get this
there's
bar real
always
quick.
something there. I'm almost there. I'm not far. I'm not far. I'm right there.
The only bar I got
Doesn't
for that,
matter. My age does not matter.
yes, you do not have to settle, but at what point do you feel like you're going to find that person? Like I said, technically, yeah, you're right. You never got to settle. But now, what if you don't find that person until you're 43 or something?
Then when I'm 43, I'll have a time when I'm 43.
What happened?
The reason why
Like something happened to her.
So she's going to feel it, right? Nowadays, guys are just not accepting. Why would they? Guys aren't accepting. And you know what? It's fine that she's okay with it. She's better off being okay with it because guys are just not going for it. And she's going to experience that sooner or later. She might as well experience it sooner. I'm happy that she's willing to accept.
Ladies, there's a lot of manipulative men out here who really want you to chase them on the first few dates. They'll pull a bait and switch tactic where they're love bombing you, whining and dining you, taking you out and treating you good, and then they'll stop the treatment in hopes that you will chase them. That's where, you go on 2-3 dates. You might even sleep with them and it's all good. We grown or whatever. And at some point he's going to pull back and say, I need some space. If and when a man does this to you, just know he wants you to chase him. He wants you to chase him. But you know what? Don't chase him. Block him, because when you block him, he's going to get very infuriated that you had the audacity to set a boundary. He's going to be infuriated and upset that you didn't chase him. At some point in the future, he will reach out to you to revisit and have a discussion, or he'll try to act like nothing even happened or downplay it. Or, sometimes, ladies, we want to have a discussion. Some of y'all want closure. Some of y'all want answers. You done blocked him for several months. And, whether you decide to stay, no contact, or whether you just want to, have a discussion to let him know you didn't appreciate what he did, so be it. What he's going to do is he's going to, number one, make you feel bad for responding negatively to his disrespect. He's going to be mad with you, but he's going to flip it around on you to make you the villain. You was never supposed to react negatively to his mind games. When he texted you and said he needed space, when he was playing these mind games, he expected you to chase him, and you didn't do that. So now for that, he's going to punish you. And by punishing you, he's going to hold you accountable for acting negatively to his disrespect. He's going to act negatively for you setting a boundary and not tolerating or chasing him. It's your fault. And when you stand on boundaries and you let him know, you know what, this was a bad ideal. I should have never spoke to you or given you a second chance to even have a conversation because you haven't changed. You haven't changed, so let me go back to blocking you. I wish you the best. Move on. We don't need to speak ever again. So what he'll do is he'll accuse you of being controlling. Knowing in his heart you never tried to control him, you didn't chase him, you didn't ask for any of the dates, he did all the texting, calling, and pursuing, yet he's calling you controlling. Blah, 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 blah. That is mind fuckery and that is reverse psychology, and I need you ladies to not fall for it. It's very common when the narcissist falsely accuses you of being controlling and he's going to accuse you of being insecure. Why? Because you are standing on business and you are.
You notice what she said? She's talking, making up all of these stories. And she said, and then right away in the first couple of dates, you probably give him something. And then he stops calling you, and because he probably wants you to show some energy. And then, you don't do it. And then you contact him, or he contacts you and you're speaking. Like, why would you turn around, give a man some, and don't call him? Or expect a man to call you? Maybe you give it up too early. Maybe that's the problem with a lot of you women. You're like, oh, I got a good guy. Let me give him some. They think that's the way to hook him in. Let me give him some. And it's obviously not working. Listen, you ladies gotta maybe change around things you're doing. But the dating market nowadays, women have created.
Are holding him accountable for playing mind games and up the relationship to begin with.
Look at that. I can't even continue.
Finally.
So yesterday was a big eye-opener for me. I typically, when I make TikToks, I don't wear any makeup or like doll myself up at all. And I'm not looking for sympathy here. But I made like a video talking about how two dudes like treated me poorly that I knew. And like the guys in the comment section were like, no wonder they treated you. Like, this is one of 3 thinks she's a 10. Or, like they dodged a bullet, you're so masculine. And that hit such a soft spot for me. Because you have to understand, I dive deep into a lot of like subconscious parts of me. And that is something that I'm so sensitive about because I don't attract the group of men that I want. I don't attract that healthy masculine men. I repel them. And I'm trying to figure out like what I'm doing wrong. And in that process, I'm ripping apart everything about me. Like maybe I'm too confident. Maybe that's what repels them away from me. Maybe I'm too outgoing, too outspoken. Maybe I need to be more soft or more gentle, more feminine. I just don't know how to change.
I'm sorry. This crying over video, when you press record and start crying, everything you're saying is nonsense to me. And no man is listening to this. Guys are not dumb.
In order to get what I want. And I will stop swearing. I do not think that's attractive, and I think I do it a lot. And I get annoyed by it too. It's been such a habit of mine. But how do you change who you are?
Crazy, I swear I don't love the drama. It loves me.
It hurts. It fucking hurts because I look at my dating history and it's just douchebags. It's just dudes. And I'm like, no wonder why, because I'm me. That's who I attract. So that's what's going on. I get it. My voice is deep, or my voice sounds like Batman. I don't care anymore. How am I supposed to change that?
That gotta be cat. My voice is deep. My voice sounds like Batman. What? You go from, you may have acted masculine. You don't sound like Batman. And stop faking. Listen, what you're selling, guys aren't buying. That's simply it. You sat there and cried to sell your story. But when you said my voice sounds like Batman, it's like, okay, I was with you a little bit. I really wasn't. I'm me. But I was with her somewhat. Until she said I sound like Batman. Like, huh? Yeah. And she decided to stop the recording after that. I commend her for that. because she didn't stop the recording. Actually, I wanted her to keep going because she doesn't stop the recording. Then she's telling us the truth. I'm making up total nonsense, and most of them do that. Sad, but that's what they do. Guys are going to find though. I get it. A lot of guys want to find that stunker. I gotta say it like that. Stunker, dinner, stunker. This is what guys want to find, and I commend it for guys that go for things like this because they can find this and not so easy. Guys don't want it so easy, but you get a woman that acts like this, that shows her femininity, as you should. Other women complaining about not sounding like Batman. But when women like this naturally and move and flow like this naturally, guys love it.
Don't you agree, Mr. Feather?
Word.
So I was at the library today doing some writing, but more importantly, eavesdropping, because that's what I do. And in front of where I was sitting, there was a woman sitting reading a book. And I watched this man approach her, and he sits down next to her. She doesn't acknowledge him. She doesn't look up. She doesn't give any cue whatsoever that she is interested in initiating a conversation. She just wants to read her book. He starts asking her questions like, what's your name? Do you live around here? Do you come here often? Yada, yada, yada. So about 4 to 5 questions in, she says to the man, hey, I just want to read my book. To which he says to her, is it bothering you that I'm speaking to you? She reiterates the same statement. I just really want to read my book. He says to her, but am I bothering you by talking to you? She said, well, yeah, when I'm sitting here trying to read my book and somebody keeps interrupting me, it does bother me. I think it's kind of a nuisance. And he goes, a nuisance? She goes, yeah, a nuisance. He goes, well, I disagree. I don't think that somebody talking to you is a nuisance. I mean, I can see how you would feel that way if somebody put their hands on you. That's a nuisance. And he still kept going. And at this point, this woman literally picks up her book and starts to walk away from this man. And she's walking past me at this point with this guy behind her. So I make eye contact with her and I gave her like one of these, offering her to sit down with me if she would like. I was like, you okay? And she just goes, he's still talking to her. So anyways, what are you doing for the rest of the day? Would you maybe want to go out sometime? She doesn't say another word to him. At this point, this guy sits down next to another guy in the library. I don't know if he knew him or not. And he starts giving this man a play-by-play of the interaction that just took place with this woman. And he says, and I quote, yeah, man, I was over there just a minute ago trying to talk to this chick, but she didn't like me because I killed her with my logic. Oh my God! Just leave women alone. She just wanted to read her book. When you asked her a question and you didn't like the response that you got, instead of accepting her no, you went about convincing her as to why her response to your question was wrong. And every single woman that I know has a story like this. There's nothing wrong with initiating a conversation, but we have a right to not be interested, and we don't need you to try to convince us that we should be. Killed her with my logic.
This is why. See, women don't see it, right? But you continue to do things like this. And it's rightfully so. The guy was dead wrong. He shouldn't have did what he did, but most men aren't. Yes, most men aren't. And then most of you will say, well, why aren't you masculine anymore? This is why. Doesn't matter that he kept doing that. Yeah, he was wrong. He was. But why do you think men don't feel confidence? Because they keep seeing things like this, even if it's for other men. They see this go, oh yeah, I'm not doing that. Seriously. I know not to do that. What does it got to do? He can't do that. He's wasting his time. He knows he's wasting his energy. And I know that woman understands that she's not getting that attention anymore. Even though she's talking like she is, she's not. She sure isn't. And the guy was dead wrong. But a lot of guys take from that. A lot of guys eat that and take it as it happened to them.
I wonder why they left.
Another brother goes out to Japan. He says, "My baby, my value." That's good, man. Slow dancing with her. This show in 2022. The brother's having a life, and the brother looks like he's from Africa somewhere, right? He it seems like he is. And these guys laying down out there in Japan. And also Paso Bros are going out to other nations too. And why would guys keep traveling? Because they realize these women in these other places will not do the same thing as women where they're from. Right? What I mean by that, you guys know what I mean by that. But still, guys going out there are thinking, this woman cares about me. Everything about me. Right? And you can find someone like that back home, but very few. You're not getting that reciprocation. So guys say this, I might as well go find it where it's at. I might as well go find a woman where she's at, where she's living at.
That's what we do, right? Yeah.
And a lot of them are living in Japan. Right? You see African guys and also Paso Bros going out there and having babies and starting families. I love seeing it. More guys will keep trying to do that because they realize there's definitely more to life than going through anything. It's not that.
Imagine where you will be, and it will be so. Hold the line. Stay with me.